Welcome to Maximal Being,
a podcast devoted to ditching fad diets and using real science to get you healthy and feeling great.
I'm Doc Mock, a GI and functional medicine doctor who harnesses the power of gut health to get you achieving your goals.
And I'm Jacky P, a well-informed layman who challenges the experts and asks the questions that you want.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or leave a comment.
And now, on to the show.
Speaking of herbs, I know we've talked about turmeric, which is a wonder medication herb. I mean, it's been utilized in all areas of medicine. That very, very safe. Dosing seems to be somewhat standardized, and Dr. Gupta actually makes it, so that's pretty cool. But let's talk about a few other ones that benefit the gut, namely ginger and triphala. Am I pronouncing that correctly, or?
We pronounce it triphala.
Triphala. Okay.
Yeah.
Triphala.
But ginger is so gastroprotective. It's such a powerful herb for us to use. I teach everyone to make ginger lemon tea in the mornings and drink that to ignite your digestive fire, to set yourself up for success for the day. It'll also create peristalsis in case you're slightly constipated and need to have that first bowel movement. Any herbal tea or hydration can support on that journey. But yes, ginger is such a powerful tool. And if we can just cut it up fresh and use it more, if we can make a tea out of it and drink it more, it is very supportive. And then triphala is a great Ayurvedic supplement to take in the evening because it also helps regulate the digestive system and give us that support we need. These are powerful herbs. There's so many. I love all of them. I love cilantro, cumin. If you hang out with me enough, I'll get you addicted to Indian food and tea. So yeah.
Well, that's incredible. I think, we have much to talk about, but looking at the time, we do have to take a quick break. However, we'll be back. We'll be talking about Ayurveda. Ayurveda? Am I close?
Yes.
For everyone who's not watching the video, she's laughing at me. And you should, because I'm butchering the pronunciation. And we'll be back very quickly after this break.
What's going on, Maximal Beings? It's Doc Mock here. Many of you are returning to the gym now, but some are not going back. Regardless of what you plan, Rogue has got the right gear to fit your needs. I personally own a barbell set and love it. The Black Ops shorts are sweat resistant and flexible for getting deep in your squats. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/rogue for our referral link. Order 3 items and they ship for free. And as usual, it's Doc Mock, and I'm here to maximize your pathway to wellness. If you're stuck at home and cannot make it to the grocery store, delivery may be the best way to stay clean and healthy. Instacart is the national leader in the direct-to-home delivery service. With numerous major chains and food from smaller stores, you can get those local veggies sent directly to your doorstep. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/Instacart and maximize your nutrition today.
Okay, everyone. Welcome back. It is I, Jacky P, your favorite layman. We've been talking with Dr. Shivani Gupta about Ayurveda medicine, and also Doc Mock, of course, sitting there looking like a ray of sunshine. We have 3 questions. We have a little bit of time, but before getting to those questions, I also want to talk a little bit about Shivani, like some of the things that you would say, like if I am listening to this podcast, right, what would you say are some of the, I want to say red flags, right? Because sometimes it might not be something major, but if someone was listening to this podcast and they're feeling something or experiencing something, what would be something you would say, hey, you might want to look into, Ayurveda? Like, what would you say? You mentioned the inflammation, but, who are the demographics you're seeing a lot of the help with? Like, who are you helping these days?
Well, number one is chronic joint pain, chronic pain. So a lot of people they blame aging for their aches and pains. So I wake up and I'm so stiff in my joints. It's just so different. I can't do what I used to do. And I'm like, that's inflammaging. That's not aging. That's inflammation taking its toll. That's oxidation. We could adjust diet, movement, and all these things, sleep, and thus really reduce that. Because to me, I feel healthier as I age. I don't feel less healthy as I age. And I think that's just a testament to how good we can get to applying a healthy lifestyle to ourselves. Also healing the gut. If we have a healthy gut, you've got that healthy immune system, healthy brain, everything you want. Another thing is, if women are out there who are struggling, I find most women are either suffering from a hormonal imbalance, kind of like subclinical thyroid conditions are pretty rampant, menopause, perimenopause, women is driving women nuts right now. They're all reaching out to me. And also a lot of women just don't feel like themselves. They're like, I don't feel like myself. And I think a lot of that is the kapha energy. Their dosha is probably vata or pitta, and they've been kind of shoved over into this imbalance of kapha, and they're not used to it in their bodies. And I know that because that happened to me after kids. I was like, why can I not feel like myself? I know what my brain's like. I know what my joy levels are like and my presence and my everything, but it's not there. Like, how do I get that back? And so that's where dosha balancing can be very powerful, because if you can reverse yourself back into being in alignment with your actual dosha, then you feel in alignment with yourself. And that's huge. So that's kind of who I usually support the most, that and sleep. A lot of people are calling me for sleep Ayurveda consultations right now because they need support. So then I walk them through all the different sleep rituals from Ayurveda, sleep tea, sleep formulas, and all the things they can do.
Yeah, I mean, just jumping in here for a minute, if you all have not done so already, go back and listen to our episode on sleep, which we talked to Dr. Jyoti Grewal, which was a colleague of mine in New Jersey, and he's the sleep doctor for the 49ers. So a lot of great tips there as well. But I think, we've done women a disservice. This is the side where Westernized medicine really has done poor at managing menopausal symptoms, is the Women's Health Study that came out, which essentially demonized hormone replacement therapy. It basically said that it causes breast cancer in about 20% of these patients, but it forgot to look at all of the benefits in the people that weren't estrogen predominant, such as bone health, mental health, night flashes, and those sort of vascular symptoms that people get. Risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, dementia, and other cancers went down when on hormonal therapy. So getting that pitta back in balance for sure can help with hormone therapy sometimes. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Back to you, Jacky P.
Oh, thanks, Doc Mike. You're just so smart. It's impressive, guys. He just knows every episode. I don't even know what our last episode was. He's like, yes, episode 3 with these people. It was a Tuesday at this time. Just kiss your brain. So
carbon
smart.
Carbon detoxification was the last one, Jacky.
Oh,
P.
see. See? But okay, so folks are reaching out to you saying, hey, I'm maybe I've got poor sleep hygiene, I've got inflammation. What is it? What are your first steps, right? Because I know you have like a supplement, right? I want to talk about the supplement as well. Sure. But as we talk about on the show with anything, right? Like the answer is never in a bottle alone, right?
Sure.
So along with the supplement, what other things are you coaching your patients, right? I'd like to hear a lot about the timing of eating you mentioned, right? Not what to eat, but when to eat. That sounds very interesting.
Sure.
So like, what are some of those things you walk through folks with?
My first go-to is usually turmeric, because they usually are inflamed. And so if we can just simmer that down, that helps. But yes, there is no bottle that can solve everything. And so then I'm like, okay, now let's talk about what you eat. When do you eat it? What is the timing? One big tip from Ayurveda is do not drink water within 30 minutes of eating, before or after. We teach people, don't just flood the system, and then your digestive enzymes and your acids can't go in there and really process the food you're giving it and absorb the nutrition from it. We also teach to eat 3 times a day. Right now, people are doing all sorts of fun stuff with fasting. I totally get all the science behind fasting. I hear it, but I don't think that most of us are built to eat 1 meal or 2 meals a day. I think that's just going so far against what we've historically done, and that's worked for us for centuries. So we teach to eat 3 meals a day, lunch being the biggest, dinner being the smallest. And that should be spread out 4 to 6 hours apart based on your schedule, 3 to 4 hours, but no snacking. And that's tough for people. A lot of people are used to just munching and snacking. And I am a culprit. I actually really love snacking. I have popcorn next to me because my whole day is interviews. And I was like, when do I eat real meals? But it's so important to find that time and focus on real food, organic preferred, fresh preferred, plant-based to the extent you can. eating a lot of fiber, which I know Doc Mock talks about, but eating that fiber, eating it plant-based, eating it with variety, eating the rainbow, all those things matter. And we've gotten into a society where it's easier to take a box of spaghetti, dump it in the pot, boil it, add the sauce on top, serve it. And that came from a bottle too. And so I think that's where we're not getting the fiber and the nutrition and things we need. So I really go into how to eat, when to eat. I tell people cut dinner by 7. Finish your dinner right by 7 o'clock. So you have 3 hours before bedtime. So bedtime is not about processing that meal now. Bedtime is about processing the whole day and clearing our lymphatic pathways. So a lot of people are like, well, I like to midnight snack. I'm like, well, if you ate properly, you should not need to snack at night. If I eat well and eat the right fats and fibers throughout my day and protein, I'm not hungry after 7. And I teach everyone to sleep 10 to 2, because if we sleep 10 to 2, that's double as effective at reducing our inflammation and supporting our lymphatic and glymphatic system than the later sleep that we get at night. So I go over a lot of things like this, and I review with them what they eat and when they eat, their exercise, how much, try to inspire them to do yoga. And these are the kinds of things that help. And then specifically, I analyze their dosha and their kind of history with all their health stuff. And I'm like, this is how you can balance your dosha.
Incredible.
Awesome.
Dr. Gupta, I knew you were smart because you're a doctor, of course, but I think I always enjoy, I tell folks, when someone is talking about what they believe in their system, right? And then, you know, we've had all types of health practitioners on the show, but it's always incredible how everything comes always to the same thing. You say what we say, but with your, you know, from your preview, right? Eat real food that grew up. You said pharmacy, but with an F, which was like, I literally wrote it down. I love that, right? A pharmacy, something from a farm. Eat all the different color fruits and vegetables, right? Like Doc Mutt says, if it's a carrot, eat the carrot. We should make t-shirts that say that. If it's a carrot, eat the carrot.
That's a good
right?
idea.
And also,
Don't feel that idea out there.
Yeah, no, right? Trademark pending. Trademark pending.
You guys should do it. That's great. Yeah. I love it.
And also, I also like you say don't eat past 7, right? Because I am an intermittent faster, but the same thing, I still get my 3 meals, right? But my cutoff is 8, but it's the same thing, right? Your body should be done with all that digestion before you're laying down. Okay. So it just always wonderful to know that all these 1,000-year-old, you know, systems of health and nutrition are like, you still see them today, but just there's this different, the youths, the cool kids, right? It's intermittent fasting now, but it's really just Ayurveda from 5,000 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ayurveda said, stop eating by 7, don't eat before 7.
Yeah.
That's 12 hours. You're good.
Yeah. You're done.
Based on how much self-care and how you run your morning, that could be 8, 9, or 10. It could be longer, but it wasn't like this obsession or fixation, right? So it's just understanding your individual system.
That's incredible. I love it.
Paleo, keto, vegan, and carnivore. Maybe you've tried them all, but did you have success? Are you still doing that diet? Turns out there's not just one diet right for one particular person. By understanding how your body works and the relationship behind your body's workings and these diets, you can then approach the perfect plan for you. In the Perfect Human Diet course, we talk to you about your body's inner workings and the pros and cons of each plan. We discuss how our ancestors ate and have eaten, and lay a framework to tailoring a plan that is perfect for you. To learn more about the Perfect Human Diet course, head to maximalbeing.com/courses to find out more. And as always, I'm Doc Mock, and I'm here to maximize your health. You cannot supplement your way to health, but there are things that we need to add to our lives that can maximize our pathway to wellness. The American diet is virtually devoid of omega-3 fatty acids, which play a major role in cardiovascular disease, gut permeability, and mental health. Personally, I take omega-3s every night, and iHerb is the best place for clean, natural sources of supplements. I love the ZenWise omega-3 fatty acid supplement, which is free of fish burps and good for the environment. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/iHerb, that's IHERB, and enter the code B as in boy, D as in dog, B as in boy, 5528, and receive 10% off your orders for all supplements. Maximize your supplements with iHerb.
All right, so let's get into these 3 questions. Hope you're ready. So the first question, I don't remember what the order is, but we'll go with the health book because I know you brought props.
Yes.
What is your favorite health book and why?
So
Let's talk about it.
there's a gentleman named Dr. Vasant Lad. He's the father of Ayurveda in this country. I had the honor of learning from him, and it's incredible. He wrote this book called Ayurveda, The Science of Self-Healing. It's a small book, so I feel like people might be willing to read it, but it totally gives you this complete picture of Ayurveda, and in so much more detail than I ever get to teach on a podcast or even in all the things I do. So I love that book. It's like when people are like, I want to learn Ayurveda, I'm like, just read that one book and you pretty much got the majority of what we're trying to say.
Cool. I like that. I'll add that to the list. We've been compiling the list of books for this show. It should be somewhere, but we'll figure that out. Okay, cool. Next question. What is your favorite exercise?
Oh, I thought about this one. Med ball slams with a squat. I somehow get so much joy from taking something and slamming it into the ground with all of my might. And I love lower body day. So that was mine. I was like, that's a full body movement. I get my squats in, which builds my testosterone, builds my health, builds my leg strength, which is going to build my metabolism. All the good things happen. And anything that's bothering me, if I have like a vendor or project or nothing's working, I'm like, oh, earth, like nice. I want it to work. So that's my favorite.
That's awesome. It's like also part mental health workout because your brain is imagining that medicine ball to be something and you're just like slamming it to the ground.
Yes.
Nice.
Love it. One part stress relief, one part legs, one part arms. Oh, dig it.
It's everything.
Doc Mock loves a good compound exercise, don't you, Doc?
Yep. Work it all. Efficiency.
Totally.
It's
the Pitta brain. You know?
Go.
Yeah.
We're like, how do I get the whole thing done in 10 minutes? We get that complete effect.
All right. And in your in your career, right? And maybe you can do this as like maybe a patient or someone we've spoken with, but what is the craziest diet perhaps maybe you've been on, or if you don't have a fun, interesting, maybe met someone who had like a very interesting diet that they're on. So if you have both, please. Yeah, we have time for both. So
I have both. So one,
okay.
I've gone to all the Ayurvedic detox centers of India. Those I don't consider weird because I think they're great. But I went to a place called Hippocrates Health Institute in West Palm Beach. I took my mom there because I was like, I need to reverse what's going on with you. And I needed to stay local. Anyway, Hippocrates is great because they do take a lot of disease and put it in remission, but their diet is raw vegan, which goes against a lot of what I teach in Ayurveda. Everyone was like, how are you here? I was like, I'm drinking a lot of tea and I'm making soup out of your weird vegetables. But basically, when you go to Hippocrates for 21 days, you drink green juice twice a day on a schedule with blue algae. They have a bar. It's full of raw sprouts. And you just eat the sprouts. You learn how to cut it all up and put their very healthy dressing on it. There's no carb. There's no protein. Obviously, the vegetables have protein, but it's the thought of that microgreens and those are basically stem cells. Like that's the philosophy there. And so it was tough as Indians. We need our dal, we need our spices. My mom felt so tortured. I can't get her to go back. So, but it was very effective because her insulin, she went from 14 units of insulin to 4 per meal. And she's been a diabetic for almost 40 years. So to me, the problem was solved, but I've never held a raw vegan diet for as long as I did. So that's the weirdest thing I've done, I would say. And then I have a client who came to me for my 6-week program, Paula, and she's like, I was on this spiritual journey and the ashram I was part of said all we could have was green juice. And I was like, all you could have for a year was green juice? She's like, yes. And her dosha was vata. So she's an air sign, air constitution, surviving on juice. I was like, if you want to trust me, I'm going to flip this. And she was open. I put her on a proper grounding protocol with healthy fat 3 times a day. Her whole life changed. She has energy. She feels whole. She feels grounded. She's not anxious. I was like, what on earth is going on?
Oh,
And
God.
granted, I'm a gluten-free vegetarian. So like I have all my own food things. But I think sometimes we, even myself, we take things to extremes in our diet and we forget how to stay somewhere in moderation in the middle where the body has everything it needs to stay strong and healthy and vibrant and whole, and all systems get the nutrition that they need. Like I'm at a point now where I fuel for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a supplement to change the world. So I have to fuel my brain and energy every day to accomplish that. That might not be what I want to do. I might want to eat less fats and less protein and all the things. I might want to eat less overall, but I can honor that this is a vehicle and it has to be fueled according to what I'm going to do to it. So it's just been interesting to see the diets that people are on.
And this is where, like on our Sham or Graham episode, we talk about how if you know just the biochemistry, it doesn't always translate to people. And if you know people, you also should know the biochemistry, because otherwise you can do crazy things like make people have green juice for a year and not fuel their mitochondria at all. So yeah.
Exactly. It's nuts.
Oi.
Yeah.
Jacky P, I think we've run out of time, but this was amazing. Firstly, I just think that Dr. Shivani Gupta just has like a badass name. Like that name just screams like authority. So I have been listening intently. I have learned so much this episode.
Where can we find you, Dr. Shivani?
Yep.
Sure. So my website is shivanigupta.com. My name, Shivani Gupta.com. Also at fusionaryformulas.com, FUSIONARY. And then on Instagram and social and YouTube under those two names.
We really appreciate your time, Dr. Gupta. And as always, it's just these conversations are so beneficial. Building community helps all of us become smarter, and it also helps us to feel better. So we at Maximal Being here preach that as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
For all of you that have not done so already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. You can reach out to ourselves or any one of our wonderful guests at team@maximalbeing.com. Jacky P, I've been working with a lot of amazing people that have seen multiple other gastroenterologists, and we're just finding things that are really easy to fix in their life. If you just listen for 5 more minutes to your patients, they will tell you the answer of what is wrong with them. As always, I'm Doc Mock. I'm here with Jacky P and Dr. Shivani Gupta, and we are here to maximize your health.
What's going on, Maximal Beings? Doc Mock here. If you haven't done so already, leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button. Let your friends and family know. That way we can get the word out and continue to bash the bro science.